Copywriting is an outdated and low-value skill compared to the business model that has been dominating the space over the past 6 months. The top 1% of copywriters are using a new method that allows them to make 10k to 50k per month with just one single client. But after today, this method is not going to remain a secret anymore because I am going to reveal everything about it. I welcome you to the full Copy Growth Partner course. This is the best no-fluff guide you are ever going to watch on becoming a highly paid copywriter, and that is my promise to you. I can guarantee that because I myself use this exact method to close a total of 10 copywriting clients over my full copywriting journey, and also to hit my first ever $10,000 month in January of this year. If you watch through this whole video without skipping anything, your perspective on copywriting is going to change entirely. Do not skip anything, this is for your own good, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so starting things off with the elephant in the room. What even is a copy growth partner? I am going to explain it right now. A copy growth partner is a long-term strategic partner who focuses on actual money generation for his clients and takes full responsibility of the marketing side of a business. Instead of just being a copywriter who writes nice words or tweaks a few conversions, a copy growth partner builds high converting funnels and does full stack marketing launches, like webinars for example, that ultimately drive sales, as simple as that. And he is also a critical thinker because oftentimes the copy growth partner tells the business owner what to do in order to grow the business, while the copywriter has no clue what he is doing, which is why he is just following orders. So please don't be that guy. Level yourself up to a growth partner who is giving out the orders to the clients he is working with. That's kind of like the ultimate form of providing value to someone. So please learn that, very important. But of course, becoming a copy growth partner is much harder than just being a copywriter because you have to learn many secondary skills that go beyond just filling a Google Doc with words. That's of course like the easiest thing you can do as a simple copywriter, but we want to be better than that. So yeah, no worries, we are going to go over everything from A to Z on how you can learn all of the skills that you need as a copy growth partner, starting things off with skill number 1, writing copy. Of course, copywriting always remains the underlying fundamental skill that you need to master before learning any other complementary skill. And the best way to start copywriting is by writing emails, of course. Most of you probably already know that because email is like the easiest form of writing copy and they are the shortest and quickest kind of to learn. So definitely always start with single emails. And the 2 types of emails are 1 value mails and 2 promo mails, of course. Value mails, like the subcategories for it, are basically like advice mails, kind of like giving value on a specific mechanism. A belief shift mail is also like a subcategory of like shifting beliefs as to, like kind of motivating them. Also like the motivation mail is also something you can use as a value mail, kind of like hyping them up about a certain topic or like about a certain journey basically. And the resource mail is kind of like a train to click mail where you like link some resource that is going to help them on their journey to their dreams, whatever, like pain state and dream state, you know. And the subcategories for promo mails are testimonial mails, of course you already know that, sell mail, like pitching the special offer basically and telling them to click the link to ultimately buy the program on the sales page or whatever. And the urgency scarcity mail, kind of pushing them over the fence and making sure they actually buy the program. These are like the types of mails for like the promo mail. So yeah, and if you want to learn how to write single emails in detail, I have a full video on that in which I reveal the only framework you are ever going to need when it comes to writing killer emails. So definitely go ahead and check it out after you've watched this video. That's already the first part of writing copy, like the single emails kind of, but you are not finished because there is much more to learn, which is absolutely no problem because the more skills you learn, the higher your clients will be paying you for. So you should be excited and you should be happy about that. So yeah, now writing single emails is just the start. In fact, it won't bring you anywhere because anybody can learn it after just 2 to 4 weeks of practice. It's just a kind of low-hanging fruit, a low-value skill. You need to be doing something that is higher value, which is something I am going to get into right now. You need to learn the next level of writing emails, writing full email sequences. That's like the very kind of best thing you can do when it comes to email marketing. And I mean, just think about it. How is a single standalone email going to convince someone to buy something? It is not going to work. Like a single email is not even a full funnel. It's just like one simple piece of copy. And it just doesn't work. There's like no nurturing happening, no value given, nothing. So it's not even a full sequence kind of. Whereas full email sequences are a sequence of multiple copies in a logical order that work together to ultimately drive the sale. They give value, they show testimonials, they pitch a special offer at the end, and they use urgency and scarcity to push people over the fence. That's what a beautiful email sequence looks like, that is actually going to persuade people into taking a certain action, the one that you desire, the one where they buy something, of course. So yeah, and this is where the money lies when it comes to email marketing. There are 3 types of email sequences that you need to know about. First of all, we have the classic welcome sequence, the one that gets sent out after someone opts in for a lead magnet on a squeeze or landing page, however you want to call it basically, that nurtures the prospects even further after the initial lead magnet has been consumed by the prospect. So you kind of send even more value mails, like giving them advice, you send like testimonials and stuff. It's like a 7 or 8 email sequence that is going to drive sales passively because it's just going to run every single day. So yeah, that's like the first type of email sequence. And the second type of email sequence is the special offer or retarget sequence. And this one is basically where you pitch a special offer to the big email list of a client to browse it and make big money off of it by proposing some sort of special offer, as I said. It like essentially works as a reactivation kind of, because you pitch something new to them. So yeah, that's like very good for browsing the complete email list. And lastly, we have the webinar sequence where people opt in for a webinar on like a webinar landing page or squeeze page and receive some value and instructions for the webinar so that the show rate is higher and you can pitch the program inside of the webinar to the most people basically. After the webinar, in which your client pitched a special offer for his program, you send them a recording of the webinar and a few promo mails with like urgency and scarcity to make even more money. So these are like the post-webinar mails that are going to make the most amount of money, of course. Very important to understand. Never miss out on the post-webinar mails. These are your money drivers. Very important. So these are like the 3 types of sequences. And if you want to learn in detail how to actually write full email sequences and how to master email marketing, I highly suggest watching these 2 videos on the screen right now. So yeah, and that's everything for writing emails. I promise. Writing emails for a newsletter is something you are going to learn in the full email copywriting course as well. So I won't be going over that right now. So yeah, now to the last form of writing copy, landing and sales pages. That's also like part of step 1 kind of. And I want to give you a little disclaimer here. Email sequences and landing or sales pages will be enough for now. But in the long run, you most likely also need to learn writing VSLs, like meaning video sales letters, and creating outlines or scripts for webinars. It's not going to be enough forever, but it's definitely going to be enough for now. And these 2 types of kind of copies, like VSLs and webinars, are much harder to do, but I don't want you to become like too much of a perfectionist and like over prepare when it comes to writing copy, because this is going to happen like naturally over time as soon as a client needs these services from you. So please don't over prepare, focus on the things that actually matter, because yeah, these skills are less tangible or visual to your clients and like the market in general, which is why we will continue with flashier skill sets that are perceived as higher value after we finish talking about the sales and landing pages, which is something we are going to do right now. So sales and landing pages are definitely harder to write than email sequences, but it is really no rocket science, especially if you have a perfect framework on how to write them. And that's also something I am going to give you. And just to make it clear one more time, sales pages have a price point on them. I mean, you can like directly buy on a checkout page, whereas landing pages usually come in the form of a call booking funnel where an appointment setter and or closer sell you on a higher price mentorship. That's like the difference between the 2. So low to mid ticket programs like $0 to $1,000 are sold on sales pages, whereas high-ticket programs like $1,000 plus are sold through call booking funnels on landing pages. Very important to understand. So yeah, that's just for your information. And if you want to learn how to write these full killer sales and landing pages, if you want like a perfect framework for that, I also have a full video explaining everything from A to Z on how to do it. So definitely go ahead and check that out after you watch this video and like the other videos. So yeah, and now we will finally get to the skills that actually make you a copy growth partner. I just didn't want to leave anything out, which is why I talked about the landing pages and everything, because that's going to be the best thing for you. So yeah, now to step number 2, setting up email automations, the first big copy growth partner skill set. So after a few months of learning, everybody and their grandma can write texts in a Google Doc, emails, landing pages, whatever. It's not a very kind of high value skill set because it's easy to learn. It's like a low entry barrier, which is why it's very good for beginners, but it's not going to get you to get paid big basically every single month in like the future, in the long run. Very important. But bringing these emails to life, making sure the emails get sent out to your client's audience instead of just sending over the emails to your clients in a Google Doc, which by the way makes you look like an unserious beginner, is where the big money lies. Please understand this, because that's a skill not everybody has. And if you go at this with the right mindset and you are serious about this business model, this is going to be a huge advantage for you because the competition is extremely low. Nobody is doing it. Please learn setting up the email automations. It's a very high value skill because nobody can be bothered. It's sad to see, honestly. If you are still confused on what email automations are, it's essentially setting up the written emails in the back end using an email service provider like Go High Level, which is like the one I am using for my email marketing, or ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, MailChimp, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just prefer using Go High Level. And please always remember, you set up the emails just like I teach you in this video. There are welcome sequences, retarget sequences, webinar sequences, and a newsletter. Get everything else out of your head. These are like the only forms of emails you need to utilize to make some money for your clients. I want you to only think in these terms. Please forget everything else. Very important. And if you want to learn in detail how to set up email automations and how to use an email service provider like Go High Level, for example, I also have a full guide on this channel teaching you exactly how to do it. So definitely check that out after you've watched this video. Now, I want you to be happy because this is already your first big copy growth partner skill that is going to differentiate yourself from all the other 99% of copywriters. And this honestly still is just the start, and I have even more prepared for you, things I am going to get at right now. Let's get to step number 3, funnel building. So just to summarize things for now, you learned how to write single emails, how to write full email sequences like the webinar sequence, retarget or like special offer sequence, and the welcome sequence. But also you learned to set everything up in an email service provider so you can actually kind of send these emails to the prospects of your audience, of like the client you are working with basically. And now we need to be building the funnels, something I'm going to explain right now. Remember how I told you about bringing your email copy to life? Funnel building means the exact same thing, just with your landing and sales page copy. Instead of just sending over the landing page copy to your client, you actually create the funnel or website with the copy on it so that the audience of the client you are working with can interact with it. Of course, the copy needs to be seen somewhere, like in the digital world. You need to kind of provide it and make it living. Very important. And the best thing about the current day and age we live in is that you don't even need to become a super good web designer of some sort, because nowadays you can just choose from a variety of beautiful templates that these web design tools offer, making it extremely easy to just plug everything inside. So very important, utilize these templates. They are going to help you out a lot. You don't need to become a super good kind of web designer. Very important. And just for your information, the difference between a funnel and a website is as follows. A funnel is a simple and static page with no animations on it, whereas a website is usually like a prettier and dynamic page with animations on it. So these are like a lot prettier basically, and they have like sick animations and stuff. So that's also like important to understand. Good funnel builders are Go High Level. Again, like the tool I am using is like 2-in-1. It's like an email service provider and a funnel builder. You can also use like ClickFunnels for funnels. And good website builders are Framer or Webflow. I personally use Framer whenever I build a website, but most of the time I only do like simple funnels because these are going to be enough in like the online coaching space. So yeah, and as I said, you can use many templates on these to see and learn how these pages are built out, but also to just use them for your own good without having to put any extra work in it. Very important. And if you want to learn how to actually use a funnel builder and how to actually build out these funnels, I highly suggest watching my full funnel building guide in which I show you how to build funnels and Go High Level. So definitely check it out after you've watched this video. So yeah, that is already big copy growth partner skill number 2. And now we will get to step number 4, money generation. Knowing how to write full email sequences, how to write landing pages, how to set up email automations, and how to build funnels is all fun and games, like the 4 main skills I told you about. But not knowing how to put everything together and actually utilizing these skills to make money for the clients you are working with makes all of this worthless. You need to understand money generation. You need proof of concept. A crucial skill set you need to develop as a copy growth partner is becoming a ruthless problem solver and actually understanding how to put things together. Very important. A copy growth partner is a critical thinker. Of course, I try to solve all of these problems for you in the first place by doing like these highly specific videos, but frameworks only go so far. At some point, you will need to understand these things for yourself because I can't give you a framework for everything. Some things are like way too individual to be talking about like in these videos, like way too specific. So you need to start like thinking for yourself. That's like just a small heads up for you. I will definitely like give you huge value on like the money generation, but please understand for the future, I just want the best for you. Make sure you develop your own thinking. It's going to be life-changing as soon as you are on your own and you have nobody to like watch over your shoulder. Please develop your own thinking. Very important. Now, back to the money generation. In the online space, money is always generated through funnels and launches. And funnels and launches basically mean sequences of marketing instruments or like multiple copies basically in a logical order that work together to ultimately drive sales. These are like launches and funnels. While a copywriter only offers single copies like a new sales page copy, the copy growth partner focuses on implementing a full system, a launch or funnel basically, that is going to drive revenue for the client in the next 7 to 14 days, meaning he will provide instant results with these types of systems. Very important. Just for your understanding again, a funnel is always there. It's like always available, always existing. Like a lead magnet funnel, for example, you can always opt in at any time. Whereas a launch is a time-sensitive funnel, kind of like a webinar launch, meaning it's going to be gone after the webinar is finished. A launch is just a fast but big marketing push, pitching a special offer and then it's gone, whereas the funnel just exists forever, like the lead magnet funnel as I said. So please understand, you only make your clients money through launches and funnels, and you need to implement them fast because otherwise you are going to be ghosted from your client because you didn't give them results fast enough. So you need to be implementing them as fast as possible. And if you want to learn about the exact launches and funnels I offer to my clients that make them money instantly, I highly suggest watching my video on copywriting productization, but I also want you to watch my video on how I do my webinar launches. That's also to be seen on the screen, so you can see a direct example of a money-making launch. And I also want you to check out a video of mine which is called Why Frameworks Suck and What to Do Instead. Also watch that one. It's going to be life-changing and you're going to shift your perspective on all of these like PAS, HSO kind of frameworks. They don't work. So yeah, just a small heads up for this. Now, you know everything about becoming a copy growth partner. There's only one more step you need to take in order to become a full-fledged copy growth partner, and that is step number 5, the high value outreach. Now that you know that making clients money and getting them insane results only works through serious funnels and launches, that like make money generation, or in other words, like highly systematized products that you offer as your service, you should realize that you can use this knowledge to reach out to prospects, giving them this exact information. Or even better, you can create these funnels and launches in your outreach for the prospect upfront to show what you are capable of and to prove to them that you are worth their time and money. Kind of like creating a full offer for them inside of an outreach, but completely for free. That's what I call the high value outreach, using a full done for you upfront offer instead of just doing high volume garbage outreach and just promising success without actually doing any work upfront. That's what most people do. You need to stand out from the competition, so definitely go ahead and do the work upfront. So yeah, and if you want to learn my exact outreach system that allowed me to close a total of 10 copywriting clients or like copy growth partner clients, I highly suggest watching my newest video on outreach, in which I show you everything on how the system works. So also check it out after you watch all of the other videos. So yeah, this is everything that matters when it comes to becoming a copy growth partner. And I gotta be honest, it takes time and it's very hard to do, especially if you don't have the right guidance. And that's why I made like such specific videos for you, so you can learn everything that matters. But for some of you, watching videos feels like the slow path and you don't feel like going off on your own will guarantee your success. And I understand that, of course. That's completely normal. It is hard finding out everything by yourself and gaining some orientation. And to solve this problem, I have an offer for you. If you're actually serious, and I mean actually serious, about becoming a high income copy growth partner, then I have a link in my bio for the people who are ready to invest in themselves. And I mean that again. Please understand, this is not a cheap program. It is a high ticket mentorship because you will get one-on-one access to me. So please, if you don't have any money, this program is probably not for you and you shouldn't apply to the mentorship. Please understand that. In this mentorship, I will answer all of your questions, identify all of your current roadblocks and tell you exactly what to do in order to get your first clients. And this will guarantee your success. I mean it, because I will be looking over your shoulder and I will make sure you are going to get your first clients. But that's only like for the people that are actually serious, who have a big amount of money to invest in themselves. So again, if you don't have any money, the offer is not for you. If you are serious, definitely check it out after you've watched this video. I mean, we are done now. So yeah, that's everything for this video. That is my offer for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment them below. If you want me to be your paid mentor, go ahead and apply at the second link in the bio. Hope to see you in the next video. Peace.